Hold on. The cheese. Okay, so we are recording. Hello and welcome, everybody. My name is Patricia Flowers, and tonight I am going ahead and doing chart analysis for you all. This is a live recording, so I'm going ahead and recording it for you so I can go ahead and post it so you guys will all see the video. Now, if you haven't already, I will also post my Telegram links in the description box below. After this video do become live, you'll see the Telegram links where you all can join me live, where you all can join me in Telegram, where I have a signals group, and I also have a community chat where we all could talk and have questions, get to know one another, and discuss anything Forex related topics in our group chat. And also our signals is basically where I will be able to do chart analysis like I'm doing now and be able to send you all signals if you choose to take them, or you don't have to if you don't want to. You can also demo them to see whether or not they're very profitable to you all. So I'm so excited to be able to do this and be able to share what I know in the Forex markets with you all and be able to give you all value. So we're going to go ahead and dive right on into this video. So the main pair that I currently watch, and I stock this pair often, so it is the GBPUSD dollar. So all you will see on my chart is the GBPUSD dollar. So I have the 1 hour chart, I have the 4 hour chart, the daily, and the weekly. These are all of the charts, all of the 4 charts that I watch consistently. I take a look at the weekly cycle because I need to know the overall weekly trend. Now, you all, if you want to take it a step further, you can put the monthly chart up and also watch the monthly chart. So I take a look at the weekly chart because I need to distinguish the weekly trend, you know, for the overall entire week. So here we are, we're looking at the weekly chart, and I see that, you know, we have a buy signal, but this buy signal on the weekly chart is not valid until we make multiple confirmations. And I have multiple confirmation and confluences as to how I make sure my trade is something that will be worth taking. So taking a look at the Great British Pound USD dollar, we know the overall weekly trend is a buy, is up in a buy, you know, ready to take off for the buy. And on the daily, we know that the overall daily trend, so these are everyday candles where we get a candle every single day. One candle moves all day on the daily chart. So the next day come, we have a new candle. Then the next day come, we have a new candle. So there's pretty much 7 candles that are opening per week or something, 7 candles in a week, because there's 7 days out of the week. So, you know, there should be 7 candles, or, you know, if I'm counting just the trading days, we don't count Saturday. We don't count Saturday, so there should be about 6 candles. Yeah, since we don't count Saturday, we have a day off. You know, there's really 6 trading days. So this is the daily overall trend. It is a buy. If you guys could see, this is my down arrow where you could see the buy going up. So we know that the trend is getting ready to reverse into a buy. But how we confirm that as well? Well, I keep checking all the time frames. I check all my time frames. So here is the 4 hour chart, and we see the arrow to go up for the buy. This is the same exact buy arrow that we see on the daily and the weekly chart. This is just how much it moved on a smaller time frame. But if you go to the higher time frame, this move barely looks like anything. So for instance, let's go ahead and turn that into the daily. That move is nothing. It barely looks like anything. Weekly chart, that same exact move, where did it go? Well, it's hiding. It's in this one candle. This one entire candlestick is for an entire week. And how we know that? Guys, if I pull away the right here, you see that? That is where it is, hiding underneath here. That is one weekly candle. It's crazy. I'm going to go ahead and delete all of the selected items. I wish I need to take these off too. Hold on. Because it just looks like a mess on my chart. Let's go down. Let's go back to the 4-hour chart. So we're going to go back to the 4-hour chart, and we're going to go ahead and, highlight these just to get them off. And I know there was about 4 of them because they're all over the place, and I don't want that all over my chart. So, well, 5. Okay, so now we're back at the 4-hour chart, and we see that the overall trend is a buy. We go back to the 1-hour chart. The overall trend is still a buy, but if you look right here at the right, at the top here, it's showing a sell signal. Well, this signal here is the same exact signal that you see on the 4-hour right here. This is that signal right here. So I'll go back and show you guys because I will put a line here. So this line right here, if I go to the 4-hour, we'll see that same exact line. See? Right here. This is the arrow on the 4-hour time frame. On the 1-hour time frame, I'm sorry. So it's signaling a pullback for the sell. Now it could be trend. It could be changing. The trend could be changing to where it's continuing down for a while. So the only way that I would personally take this trade is if I see my moving average cross below. If I see my orange and my white moving average cross below my green, this is the only way that I will take that trade. Or if I see this little X retest like this, if this X retests without crossing and it gives me a red dot followed by a pink signal, then and red dot and pink signal came up here, I will execute that trade immediately because it's going to go back up. But if you get that X, that white X back up here, and you get a red dot followed by a pink signal to say sell, this is how you know that it's going to be a good trade. So you see this here signal here where your pink line cross above your 60. So on the RSI lines, your purple line crossing above the green line signals a sell. But if the green crosses back above the pink, above the purple line, if the green line crosses above the purple line right over the 60 or touching the 60, that indicates that this is a buy, okay? That indicates a buy. And that's how you would look at that trade. So that indicates a buy. Okay. So let me show you something else. So that indicates a buy. Let's go ahead and take these lines off my chart. Whoops. Take these lines off my chart. So I would look to sell this short term. I wouldn't look to sell it full term, long term, because what'll happen is that once it creates a W like that, and you get a blue signal telling you to buy, or if it creates something like that without and it closes with a wick down here, but the candle is still congruent with this is going to be a legitimate buy. But the candle, the candle has to close right there. It can't close down here. The wick has to be down here, and the candle has to close up in this area somewhere up here. It doesn't matter where it closes, as long as that it wicks off and the wick is still there and not the candle. And that's how you would look at that scenario for a sell. But we know overall trend is a buy, so we just be waiting for a buy. So be waiting for our buy signal. That's all we're waiting for, guys, is our buy signal. And that's all. And let's go ahead and, you know, see if, so for GU, we're looking for a short-term sell. Depending, we're going to be looking for a short-term sell and a long-term buy. So if your moving average is crossed, or if you get a retest with a red dot followed by a pink signal, and your crossover with your sell looking crossover where the purple line is crossing the green line. So if it came back down and it went up for the buy, and then the purple crossed back over the green line, then that's your sell. That's your sell short term. And look to exit that trade between Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, depending on what kind of signals you get. But be safe and get out your trade as long as you feel like there's no more you can get out of that. Or you could also look on the 4-hour, and where you see this white X, is if there is not another X that forms here, if you would wait where you see this white X here on the 4-hour, you would wait for another white X to appear, and followed by a dark blue dot and a baby blue signal. So a dark blue dot, baby blue signal, take the buy. So that's another way you could see how you could trade long term. But these have to cross over. So this sell that's happening, that you took on the 1-hour, well, on the 4-hour, it isn't valid yet, not yet, because you need to wait if you are a higher time frame, like a 4-hour trader or 1 hour, depending on what type of trader you are. I typically trade the 1-hour, but I use higher time frames to stay in my trade longer. So I trade the 1-hour, but I use the higher time frames to stay in my trade a lot longer. So when the purple line crosses the green line, this is your indication to go ahead and take the trade for the sell. And you get out at the white line if it gives you a dark blue signal. So when it gives you a dark blue signal, I would just exit my trade, because I wouldn't want to sit in the trade and have a potential of losing the entire trade. I want to win. So that's the purpose of trading, is beating the market makers at its game, at its games. So you don't want the market maker to take your hard-earned money that you work hard for. You want to get in this as a business and treat it like it is a business, not treat it like a hobby or some type of game. You need to treat it like your own business, like your life depends on it. Like, hey, I really want this so bad, for my family, to the point where I'm not going to let anyone take this away from me. So that's the mindset you have to have when coming into this market. You have to have the mindset of a businessman, of knowing what you're looking for, knowing what you're going to do when you enter into the market, how you're going to get out of the trade, how you're going to take the trade, what are your confirmations, what is your technique overall of taking these trades, what is your reason for taking that trade. You have to have all of that psychologically imprinted into your mind, as to know, why am I taking this trade? So yeah, so moving forward, let's go ahead and analyze another pair. So we know overall we're looking for a buy, either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, I would still look at the market and see what it's doing for that buy. But it's definitely going to retest first. It definitely should come down first, then go up, because of how it closed. Because Friday, it closed into a sell like this. So that should mean that it's going to come down into a sell. So if my moving average is crossed, I would literally take this trade and let it sit. I would take the trade and hold it until I get to my buy arrow. When I see a buy arrow on the 1-hour chart, and as soon as I see a dark blue dot, I'm just going to go ahead and exit, because that is how you're going to keep your account safe and how you're going to keep growing your account. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at some other pairs. So let me see. Okay, a lot of people look at AUDCAD, so I'm going to go ahead and, I'm just going down the list. I don't, have a specific pair that I'm going to look at, but I'm going to take a look at some of these pairs for you and see. Now, this is an example of, a trade. This arrow was once here before. And what happened is that how I wait for my confirmations is if it's finna cross, is if it crosses, then I know that it's going to come down into a sell. So AUDCAD is ready, looking ready for that sell. It's about to happen. But as I said, it's moving the same way how GU was moving, where you're going to wait for that retest, and it either going to continue higher up and break this high here where it's in the stop hunt zone. It's going to go further past that stop hunt zone, or it's going to give you your entry right away soon. So Sunday and Monday come, I would still look for a sell entry, and then let's go ahead and put that into the 4-hour chart, because I don't like changing my charts. Oops, telling me to sell AUDCAD, but I can't sell it because the market is closed. So that confirms it as well. So, okay, so I see on the 4-hour here for AUDCAD, it is a sell. And let's go ahead and see how many pips that you can get out of this. So you can get about 100 pips on the 4-hour or the higher time frame. So I wouldn't shoot no more for about 30 to 50, or 30, 50 to 100 pips, to be safe, 30 to 50 pips, depending on what time frame you're trading. So 30 to 50 pips, and you can get out if you want to be extremely safe. You can go for 10 pips and get out of the market. So let's go ahead and look at this again. And because I'm on, I'm using a 4-hour chart, I can go ahead and demonstrate. When you get a pink signal, followed by this is crossing above the 60, about to cross above the 60. So what you'll wait for technically is for your green line to come down. So once your green line droops underneath the 60 and the purple crosses the 60, you can enter this trade at the 60 level. Just like this. Let's go ahead and demonstrate over here, because I'm pretty sure you have a signal here. So, okay, so there's no signal there. So what you'll do is wait. You'll wait until, as long as that baby blue dot is there and you got a crossover signal, you're good to go. But here's where you got a confirmation to get in. Right here on this candle. So right about here is your confirmation. Right about in this zone is your confirmation to go ahead and get in. Right up in there, or at the close of the candle, or you could get in on it move as it is moving. So I don't really believe in getting in after. As long as I see my confirmation, I am going to get in whenever I see a confirmation. So I don't believe in waiting for a simple confirmation, a close of a candle. So as at this line, you could have caught 70 pips, approximately 70 pips on this trade. And that's good money depending on your lot size. So with AUDCAD, you're going to be looking for particularly a sell. Let's check the daily to confirm that. Okay, so on the daily, it is a small pullback. Now this is where it kind of is iffy, is how the Maxwell equation looks. The Maxwell equation is still in a buy zone. This is still a buy zone, guys. And what confirms it is how I have this blue signal with the green on top of red. On top of that, you have the green crossover. It crossed over by the 60, and it crossed over the 60, and it confirmed the buy. So yeah, on the lower, so we know it's a buy overall. So we're looking for a buy trade overall. And the weekly does confirm that as well, to where it has the white X right here. This is the white X. I see it perfectly and clearly. So we got the white X, and I'm sure it's going to drop a little bit because of the lower time frames. You see the Maxwell equation right here? This is where you are right here. Then when you go down, it looks like it's going to drop down a little bit more. And price is underneath this red line, red zero line. So, okay, so right here is where it might take right back off. When this green cross above your purple line, that is where it might just go ahead and take back off. So, yeah. So yeah, these are interesting. These are truly interesting, guys. So I would definitely short-termly look for a sell. And it is going to go down into a sell. It will go down into a sell. If I'm trading AUDCAD, I'm going to be looking for a sell. I'm going to be looking for a retest, then a sell. Or if it crosses, I'm just going to go ahead and enter because it crossed despite of the drawdown. So if it crosses, it's confirmation to say get in. But if it doesn't cross, then it's not confirmation to get in. Odd Chef. So Odd Chef, you know, it looks like it moved. You know, it doesn't produce, I don't think it produces many pips as you would like it to produce. So this produced 33 pips. I honestly don't think it produces a lot of pips. So I try to go with pairs that produces a lot of pips. Like, let's go ahead and check out EJ or Euro USD. Let's check out EJ first. So EJ, okay, so this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at potential buys. I'm looking at a potential buy for EJ. EJ is looking good for the buy. And it already came down and you got a pullback. Now, if I take a look at EJ on the 4-hour time frame, so let's pull it in. Let's pull up EJ for the 4-hour time frame, and then we're going to go higher from there. So I don't like how this AUDCAD is looking on here. So sorry about that, guys, if you can hardly see my AUDCAD, but this is how the AUDCAD look with certain pairs. I cannot control it. I cannot fix that. This is how the AUDCAD potentially looks with certain pairs. So as we can see on the weekly chart, this is a big sell plug. So you want to watch out and be careful for trades that has big sell plugs that looks like it's just going to tank. So I'm actually looking at the weekly. So let's go ahead and look at the daily. So as I go down to a smaller time frame, we can see that it doesn't show what we saw before, which was all that fuss. So we got this, the W. So this is a big W. This is a big W. And this is also an M, where you got the 3. This is an M. That is how you can see what you're doing when you're trading. And you go up. This is going to go down a little bit further, I believe. So let's see. And I'm just going to tell you guys how I confirm my entries. I trade the 1-hour time frame for my entries. Sometimes I go down to the 15-minute chart depending on how confident I am with my entries, and I just want to get in a lot earlier. So let's go ahead and show you. Let's see. So here is where it came down. Well, in the AUDCAD, the Maxwell equation still is showing in a sell zone. So this is still overall a sell zone. This is overall a sell zone. But me believing in this little shift to momentum is going to go up higher soon. Okay, so I'm looking for a buy, looking for buys on EJ. So EJ, AUDCAD, that was AUDCAD, let's see, I think so. Yeah, AUDCAD, EJ, AUDCAD, and GBPUSD. Overall, we're looking on AUDCAD has a sell signal, and GBPUSD still has a sell signal. So they're all not going to go at the same time. They're not going to go at the same time. They're just going to go at whatever pace they want to go. So let's go ahead and look at GJ. I'm trying to see. I used to look at GA, GBPAUD. I used to actually like this pair, but the spread is super wide on this pair. I try to stick with pairs that has very low spreads and that are barely, this pair looks like it's consolidating, but you could have caught very good pips out of this. See, this is still giving you very good pips. If you know exactly how you're supposed to trade it, then you're good to go. So it went up to 100 pips, counting this whole entire consolidation range right here. This is like a little range to me. It is a range. It is just going in one tight-knit space. And then this is coming down because it's going to finish that sell off. It closed into a sell, so it's going to finish into a sell, guys. And that's how I look at it on like Fridays. On Friday days, if I see a sell signal here, I'm going to look to sell it on Monday or Sunday and Monday. But then again, as we see, GBPUAUD on the daily is a buy signal. This is getting ready to go up, but it may not go up right away until after the retest, like I was saying before, that sell retest. When the sell retest finishes, on the 1 hour, as you can see, the 1 hour, when this retest finishes, let's go ahead and pull the chart back up bigger. Yeah, when the retest finishes and it comes back down like this, and it comes back down, I will be looking to buy on either, it may happen on a Tuesday, it may happen Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. It can happen any of those days, but you want to look to buy. Most definitely, you want to look to buy these pairs. These pairs aren't going to be playing with you. These pairs are pretty much ready for a buy soon. Now, it could, depending on, let's look at the higher time frame. I'm just sitting here drawing all over the chart because I like doing that. Let's see. Let's go to the weekly. Oh, it looks like a hot mess. Okay, so on the weekly, we have overall a sell. Overall sell on the weekly. And yeah, it's overall a sell. So it's going to play around for a while until it completely drops. But the moving average here, it crossed. It crossed. Yeah. So it crossed, but the higher the time frame, sometimes it could be harder to get those confirmations in correctly. Like meaning when you're moving average cross on a higher time frame, it could be exactly harder to take that trade because of the fact that it's not ready to actually go that way. It could be just a pullback on the higher time frame. Instead of a continuation. So you want to look for continuation zones. And pretty much the daily, the H4, if it's going in the same direction, see, it's a buy. The daily is a buy. Then you want to look to buy. The H4, the daily, the 1 hour, and you can drop down to the 15 minutes. When this sell is finished, guys, this is a sell. When this sell is finished, you can look to buy. It may push up one last time. I don't see an X. Okay, I do see an X. So when that X completes and it does the same thing like I was telling you with all the other pairs, when it does this and it comes back down. Now it may not retest. It might not even retest. But this is, what you're going to be looking for. And that could be a potential of about 118 pips. before you go to the upside, and it's because this pair produces a lot of pips. This the GBP AUD pair produces a lot of pips. Now I want to look at GJ, one more pair, which is GJ, because I used to love this pair. Okay, GJ is doing the same thing. GA and everything else is doing. GBPUSD, and GA is doing the same exact thing. So I believe in this sell right here. So what I'm saying is that when the market opened back up, I would take the sell and I would wait for confirmation and then head open, get into my buy. That's what I would do. But if you're not confident in the buy, if you're not confident in the sell, don't take it. Just wait for the buy, which will happen on either a Wednesday, Thursday, or a Friday. But whatever happens Sunday and Monday is going to happen on Tuesday. So if it's selling down on Sunday, Monday, and it hasn't finished, it's most likely going to come back up and retest and then drop some more before it goes back to the other side. Now, if it sometimes, depending on what you're doing, it could probably, not do what you want it to do. But the more practice you get in and you put into it, you will find, that trading becomes very simple, and trading is becoming very easy for you. And that is how I look at my confirmation. So most definitely, GJ is definitely going to be a buy. So if I pull this up on the H4 time frame, GJ is in a buy, but it's doing the same thing GBPUSD did, which is getting ready to create this pullback. And it might juke back up before it comes back down, but it's creating that pullback overall. Pullback. But for the most part, I'm going to be looking to buy GJ or GU because those are the two main pairs that I trade, GU and GBPJPY. But if you're wanting to trade other pairs, I can give you my analysis on those, and just let me know which pairs you are interested in trading, and I can do my analysis on that for you and help you on your journey in succeeding in trading. But I will be able to give you my signals, with some of the pairs that I already use when they become ready. I'm not going to give you any signal now because there is no signal now. There is no trade to take until the markets open back up, and we'll see how things are going this week. And we'll be doing this together and growing our accounts together. So if you haven't already, you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you're brand new. Also, make sure you subscribe to my Telegram, and I have links to both of the Telegram groups, so you can be able to get my signals, and you can access the community chat room where you can ask a lot of questions, pertaining to Forex if you have any. I'm not sure if I covered anything or if I covered everything for you, but there's more videos like this to come, so please be on the lookout for more, okay? I'll see you next time.